Broadcasting lost an icon Friday, and the Buffalo Bills lost a treasured member of the family when legendary play-by-play man Van Miller died at the age of 87. The Hall of Fame voice for the Bills for 37 seasons, Miller called the first game in franchise history both AFL championships and all 4 of the team's Super Bowls. His high-energy broadcasts were never more exuberant than they were the afternoon of January 3rd, 1993, during the Bills' miracle playoff comeback against the Oilers.
It's playoff time. The Bills and the Oilers ready to get it on in an AFC wildcard game.
Back to throw. He looks. He throws. Touchdown! Andre Reed for the touchdown. The Bills have scored. It is bedlam. It is pandemonium. It is fandemonium. It is fantastic. Bills can win it here. Wright puts it down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. And the Bills have won it. The Bills have won it. Incredible. What a comeback by the Bills.
Bills great Jim Kelly said of Miller, he was and will always be the voice of the Buffalo Bills. And anyone who ever heard him would wholeheartedly agree. The longest tenured broadcaster for one team in NFL history, Van Miller, my star of the night.
Class of 45, 150 strong, right? Unbelievable. 76 girls, 74 boys, and we graduated 17 virgins out of that class. We were 11-3 that season. We lost 3 games. We would have been undefeated, but Barlow screwed up all 3 games. When he made it up in the football season, he played halfback and linebacker, and he put 3 people in the hospital in his football career, all of them in the maternity wards. So anyway, the guy's in a bar getting drunk in the afternoon, okay, and he's alone with the bartender at the far end of the bar, and this gal walks in. She's got a cut-off top on and a pair of cut-off jeans, you know, and a little tank top, and she raises her arm to order a drink. She's got ugly black hair under her. And the bartender looks down, and the drunk says, "Oh my God, look at that ballerina. Give that ballerina a drink." I'm going to drink. 15 minutes later, up goes the arm, the ugly black hair, and now the drunk is drunker. He says, "Oh, the prima ballerina wants another cocktail. Send it down." Okay, down goes the drink. The 3rd time the arm goes up, and the bartender said, "What the hell are you calling that woman a ballerina for?" And the guy says, "Are you kidding me? Listen, any woman that can raise her leg that high is down." Weed Fredericks, my buddy Weed Fredericks. Where's Weed? Hey, Weed, baby, I'm going to tell you, he was the best drinker in our class, he was the best driver in our class, he was the best skier in our class, and he was the biggest pain in the ass. But I talked about him down the hill. Yeah, never mind, yeah. Tell him about the Siamese twins who moved to London so the other one could drive. They've heard that. He's having a little trouble with his sex life. He says to the doctor, "What can I do?" The doctor said, "Have you tried Viagra?" He said, "No." "Can you get it over the counter?" The doctor said, "Well, if you took 3 at one time, you might." Fredericks and I are playing golf at Shorewood this one day, and he's standing on the 5th tee waiting to hit the ball, and this woman, okay, now this woman has hooked her shot, and all of a sudden Fredericks gets hit in the vital, oh, and he goes down like this, and he's writhing in pain on the ground, right, holding himself down here, and this woman comes running over. She says, "Oh, I'm sorry, my God, I'm a physical therapist. Let's see if I can help you." So she zips down his trousers and starts massaging him in that tender area. It goes on for several minutes, okay, and she said, "How does that feel?" He said, "Oh, that feels wonderful, but my thumb still hurts like that." Georgeson is here tonight. Where are you, Athena? Oh my God, she was unbelievable. I taught her to drive. She started in my driveway going back and forth. She always got screwed up between the accelerator and the brake. So she ran over and killed my 2-year-old dog, and then went into my garage and knocked the back out of the garage. So I had she turned my garage into a carport. So anyway, so Athena says, "Am I ready to take my test?" Well, I said, "I don't think so." But anyway, so we went down and she took the test, and drove up over the curb a couple of times, and finally made a left turn on Park Avenue. And the guy said, "I want you to," Mr. Stewart said, "I want you to double park or to parallel. Just stay the hell out of it." Why don't you go home with Danny? I'm not going to tell the rest of it. I haven't spoken, and I won't even tell the rest of that story, Athena. But I remember that you did take your test, and did you parallel park? You sideswiped that Studebaker over the curb, okay? And finally, she said to the Mr. Stewart that I passed my test. He said, "Oh, hell no, you didn't pass your test." She said, "Well, I'm coming back next week to try again." He said, "Oh, wait a minute, you passed." Don't tell anybody who signed your license. So I said, I've got to do something more. So I went to the high school and I got a football helmet. And Tina wore the football helmet. I see her driving down Central Avenue, and Joyce and the Caddis and let's see, Judy Schwartz, they're here tonight with their husbands, and they would lie down in the back seat of the car on the floor while Tina would drive out to Russia's restaurant. But that's another story. I gotta tell you that, I haven't spoken here since 1998 when I retired from Channel 4, and I spoke at the communion breakfast at St. Mary's, where I had played basketball the first couple of years before I transferred up to the high school. And we were tough kids in those days. My old man shaved with a blowtorch, He was really tough. We had a guy die at the table one night. Somebody said, "What are we going to do?" He died of a heart attack. My father said, "Take out the 2s and 3s." They just kept right on playing. They were very, very, it was a tough crowd. But it was just an unbelievable situation. But I went to speak at St. Mary's, and we went over to breakfast after communion and Mass, and this little altar boy turned bus boy is coming along. He puts one little pat of butter on my pastry plate. And I said, "Son, I'd like another pat of butter." He said, "Sir, you only get one pat of butter." This is an 11-year-old kid. And I said, "No, I want a second pat of butter." He said, "Sir, you only get one." And I was a little annoyed. I said, "Young man, do you know who I am?" He said, "No, I don't." I said, "I'm Van Miller. I'm the voice of the Bills, two-time New York State radio and TV broadcaster of the year. I'm the voice of the Bills. I'm the guest speaker here today, and I want another pat of butter." This little 11-year-old boy said to me, "Do you know who I am, sir?" I said, "I have no idea." He said, "I'm the guy that hands out the butter." Well, the next day I take Sister St. Leonard, who had a dirty habit. She was our principal there. And we were out to Russia's restaurant for lunch. Okay, and I said, "Come on, sister, pick something off the wine list." Oh, I couldn't do that. I said, "Oh, go ahead." So she looks down. She said, "Oh, well, okay, I'll have a Martin Eye." So I kind of laughed at the waitress, and she chuckled and went out to the. I said, "I have a bottle of Cook's beer." So she goes out and says to the service bartender, I got an order for a Cook's beer and a Martin Eye," and the bartender said, "Is that doggone none here for lunch again?" And I'm not going to go long, but I won't keep it long because it's getting on to 10 o'clock, and we got to set our clocks back an hour tonight.
Going to get everybody confused.
Because I need to sleep. You do whatever the hell you want to do. On a serious note, and I've got to say, that it's been wonderful here, Valerie. I know how 28 years, Dan, you've been broadcasting. You're never going to get it right. You have that certain nothing. But it's a big day for me. because it was 2 years ago today that my Uncle Len passed away. And he was a wonderful man. He was a 3-star athlete in high school and college. He won the New York State Archery Championship 5 times, but he had a very bad marriage. My Aunt Edith wouldn't clean the house or cook. She got up in the morning, put her sneakers on, and walked 20 miles a day. She's been walking 20 miles a day. She walked out of my uncle's life. She's been walking 20 miles a day for 57 years. We don't know where the hell she is. But when she walked away from Uncle Len, he started to go downhill and went to the Jack Daniels, and we knew he was on his way out. And we're at the Miller, or the Vanderweel farm at the end of 6th Street near Brigham Road, and my cousin Jack and I, his son, and he said, "Jack, bring me my bow and arrow and open the window." So Jack got the bow and arrow and opened the window. And he said, "Jack, I'm going to shoot this arrow. And wherever it lands out there on that field, I want you to bury me." He died 2 years ago today. And in accordance with his wishes, we laid him to rest on the shelf in the bedroom closet. We will never sell the damn house, I'll tell you. It's been a wonderful ride with the Bills, and I'll tell you, John Murphy's going to be a better play-by-play man. And Alex Van Pelt will do a terrific job because he will be able to go into the meetings and sit in on the quarterback meetings. He'll know what's going on out there, and they'll do a terrific job. And I'll tell you, this man here is going in the Hall of Fame, Steve Tasker. Yeah, if I do, it'll be in the men's room. But they do have my microphone there, and my spotting boards are up there in Canton, and I'm very flattered about that. And Hank Beeger, it's great to see you here, buddy. Yeah, you look very good. Well, fair. Anyway, you know, this is
You know how to get back to Buffalo?
What, are you going into the John again? Just a little while ago, when you were in there, could you hear us in there? Because we could hear you out here. This is one of the great booster clubs. I mean, there are like 267 booster clubs worldwide, and this is one of the best. Rich Jesse, thank you very much. You're never going to be a comedian, Rich. But anyway, it's been a wonderful thing. They've had a lot of dinners and other things, and they honored me. Hell, if I knew what was going to happen, I would have quit 5 years ago. But this has really been special for me, coming home and seeing friends of mine and so many of the people from the class of 45 that I graduated from. With honors. I took geometry, played geometry 3 times. They told me if I passed the 3rd time they'd let me teach it, which they did. So, but anyway, it's been wonderful to be here and a wonderful evening. I thank you all for coming, and go Bills. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Van Miller.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Van Miller in Orchard Park, New York.
Bills are about to beat the Miami Dolphins after 20 losses. And they head for the locker room. 3, 2, 1. It is all 17-7.
I have some wonderful memories with the Bills going back to 1960. You know, when I arrived from Dunkirk in 55 with my sport coat tucked in my pants.
It didn't take long for Van Miller to start calling championship football games. In 1964, he did the play-by-play from War Memorial Stadium as the Bills beat San Diego for their first AFL championship.
Rodas back to pass, the swing pass, and boy, oh boy, the man was hit hard inside the 30 by Stratton, and he was really hit. Kemp, long count, Carlson fighting in for the touchdown. 3 seconds, 2, 1, the Bills are champions.
The nice thing about Van was that he was extremely knowledgeable. He knew more about us than we knew or our families knew about us. And the great thing about Van was that he was an artist. He had the ability to paint a picture with words. And on radio, that's quite a thing to do.
Ferguson rolling out, looking, throws toward the end zone. It is good for the touchdown. Caught by Roosevelt. A big grab for the touchdown. The streak is over.
You have to paint a word picture. The team is driving. You build to a crescendo.
Kelly waiting. Last play of the game. Back to throw, and he's going to run, and he dives for the touchdown. He dove for the touchdown.
I came up with a couple of words: pandemonium, fasten your seatbelts, da-da-da-da-da.
It is bedlam. It is pandemonium. It is fandemonium. It is fantastic.
As a rookie, my first experience here, with all the electricity and all the noise, over all of it, you heard Van's voice kind of being the maestro of it all, you know, so he was the leader of the fandemonium.
2nd and goal at the 13. Dropping back, he drops the ball, picks it up, rolls to the right, still on his feet, now throws, it's good to Lofton, he runs in for the score, James Lofton, what a play! The Bills are in the Super Bowl for the first time in their history.
I can remember, him saying something before, doing highlights, something before the AFC Championship game against the Raiders, and really the Bills are going to the Super Bowl after we beat the Raiders 51-3. So his voice and his memories will always be there, and you know what type of call it's going to be when you see a certain play.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's playoff time. The Bills and the Oilers ready to get it on in an AFC wild card game.
Back to throw. He looks. He throws. Touchdown! Andre Reed for the touchdown. The Bills have scored. Bills can win it here. Wright puts it down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. And the Bills have won it. The Bills have won it. Incredible. What a comeback by the Bills.
I think Van had that father figure voice that expressed what the fans believed. He coined the phrase fandemonium, and so that is Buffalo, and he was Buffalo. So, I think that's why he's so special to everyone here.
Van Miller's special qualities have been recognized. The Pro Football Hall of Fame awarded him the Pete Rozelle Radio TV Award 10 years ago, the first local broadcaster to win the award. He's a member of the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame, the Buffalo Broadcasting Hall of Fame, and the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, among others. Today, he takes his place on the Buffalo Bills Wall of Fame.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure to be part of football because it's the greatest game in the world, greatest ever.
Van Miller, one of the greatest ever at his job, the voice of the Buffalo Bills.